guys, it's Claire. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone who watches my videos and is subscribed, because recently I just hit 4,000 subscribers and I could not do it without you guys. Thank you guys for just continuing to watch my videos, and yeah, just thanks so much. So for a while, I've had a lot of people who will comment on my videos and they'll talk about how they really want me to do tutorials. I've had quite a few people asking for tutorials, and for a really long time I would look at those comments and I'd be like, oh yeah, I should do that. I should definitely make a tutorial video, and then I never did it. But I'm here today and I'm going to be doing a tutorial video now. So I'm here on Procreate, which is the drawing app that I use. So the first thing that I do when I start a drawing is I always make the head first, and I start with a circle and then I will draw my head around the circle. So I always start with the head first, and then I will go in and do the hair over top of that. I suggest if you're doing this on digital art, I suggest putting basically everything on different layers. So your head and your hair and maybe accessories that you have and the eyes, I put everything on different layers. So I decided to just go ahead and draw a little bit more, and this is what I have right now. I have her hair done. Well, I kind of just did a rough sketch of it, and I drew the hat. So now I'm going to show you guys how I do eyes. I do eyes differently for almost every drawing. It really depends, or if you're looking at a reference, the eyes will be different. So eyes are different in most drawings, but I'm just going to show you how I'm doing the eyes for this one. So the first thing I did when drawing these eyes is I went in first and did the eyelashes. So the first thing I do is I always go in and make a arch at the top of the eye, which is going to be where the eyelashes are. And I just made that kind of thick. And then once you've done that, you're going to go in and you're going to add your pupil. And you can make your pupil circle or oval. Mine is a little bit more circle in this drawing. After I've done that, I go in and you're going to add the bottom part of the eye, which is going to have the bottom eyelashes, sort of. You're going to make this a lot smaller than the top one, and I just make it a line at the bottom, and that's basically it. After that, you're going to want to add in your pupil, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is make a oval shape, and you just put that in the middle. When you make your pupil, depending on what color you're making your eye, it's always the darkest color. You can do black if you want, but I usually like to do a darker color of whatever color I'm doing for the eye. After I did that, I just sketched in where I'm going to put the highlights, and the highlights are pretty self-explanatory. It's just basically circles that are white that you just put in the eye, and you really can choose wherever you want to put them. It's usually kind of random. It doesn't really matter what position or where you put them, but you can't leave them out because you have to have the really shiny, pretty anime eyes. For the other eye, I'm just going to be duplicating the eye that I already drew, and okay, it's not cheating, I guess. I'm just using my resources, okay? A tip if you are just drawing in a sketchbook or something, and if you're doing traditional art, for drawing the other eye, which is always a pain, what I suggest is doing both the eyes at the same time. Draw the top of the eye on both of them first, and then do both of the pupils and stuff. Do both the eyes at the same time so that both the eyes will end up being even and stuff. I feel like that helps a lot. So now I've skipped ahead to the outlining. If you wanted to know, the brush that I use is Studio Pen. I use that for outlining a lot. I either use Studio Pen or Monoline. Those are my two go-to for outlining. Just a little thing to remember if you are drawing on digital art and you're doing the outlining. remember to not draw the outlining on the same layer. I've done that so many times and it's so painful. It's like you finished all the outlining and you're like so happy and you're gonna go on to coloring it in, and you realize that you put it on the same layer and that you're gonna have to just get rid of it and re-outline the whole thing. So don't make the mistakes that I have made. But yeah, that's a tip, to always make sure it's on a different layer. So now I'm continuing doing the eyes, and I'm going to show you guys how I do the coloring in process of this. So the first thing I did is I made the pupil a dark blue color, since I'm making the eyes blue. And then for the top of the eye, I added a darker blue, a little bit lighter than the pupil though. And then underneath of that, I added a even lighter blue, and at the very bottom, it has a even lighter blue than that, which is like a turquoise. So it kind of looks like it's fading down. You can also blend these together. I've done that in drawings before. I just decided not to do in this one, but if you blend those together, it will look really nice, and it'll be like a nice gradient too. And I airbrushed in a little bit of like a light purple color at the bottom, as you can see, and I think it made like a really pretty effect on the eyes. And then I also added in the highlights, which I just went in and I just colored those in white. Then I just repeated that same exact process on the other eye, and I think the eyes look really good in this drawing. These are one of like my favorite eyes they've done. They're very like sparkly, and the blues and the purples look really good together. Now I'm working on this hat that I have on her. I'm gonna tell you guys how I do it. I don't usually do things like this normally. This is kind of different, but to make texturing on the hat, because I wanted to make sure you could like tell it's sort of supposed to be a like straw hat, sort of a little bit, I guess, for like the beach hat. So I went in with like this airbrushy tool and I made it pretty thin. And I went in with like light tones and darker tones, and I just made a bunch of streaks all over the hat, and it looked really good at the end. It gave it like a really nice textured look, and it looked really pretty in the end. So this is what I have so far, and you can see at the top, that's the reference photo, and it's kind of what I'm trying to make right now. So what I did for her hair is, for the highlights on her hair, I just used like the same airbrush I did for the hat, and I just added that wherever I wanted, really, wherever I thought that I wanted there to be shine. So I added that on the top of her bangs and near the bottom of her hair and stuff like that. Coloring in the skin, I'm going in and I'm grabbing a color that's a little bit darker that I'm going to be using for her skin, and I'm using that for the shadows. So underneath her neck, I have that color right there because that's where the shadow's coming from. And I also added some like on the side of her arm and in other places, just where I thought there would be need to be shadows, like underneath her bangs and stuff like that. So after I do all of that, then I go in and I just like color drop the regular skin tone. I recommend putting shadows on your drawings just because they make them look way better. Like, it just looks a lot better than just doing one color, which would look really flat. This just makes it look a lot better, and I just really like the way it comes out in the end. The last thing I did is I just went in and I colored in the rest of her skin, and I added in a background. So here is the speed draw of my drawing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and for you guys that want a tutorial, I hope that this helped you guys. If this tutorial video was helpful and you guys liked it and you wanted another one, please make sure to write that in the comments below. I do read all of my comments. And I just wanted to thank everyone again for 4K subscribers. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!